cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's the number one podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast. I'm your host, K Money, and in the building with me, my co-host Slash, Freddie G, and Comedian 96. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men. You can find us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast, Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast, and if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and or subscribe. What's up, fellas? Welcome to another True Tuesday episode. Fearless debates. What's the second thing that comes to mind when I mention fearless debates to you guys?
The second thing?
Yeah, I know the first thing. I can imagine the first thing would be, what the hell am I talking about for you and Slash? And sorry, Comedian 96 is over there probably thinking
debate
how babies still are born.
Close. I'll be thinking where babies come from.
Yeah, well, still pretty much because you ate a store class night, right?
The second thing that comes to my mind, fearless debate, that it's a fight that broke out.
A fighter?
A fight broke out after debating, and they weren't scared of each other.
Well, my first thing comes to my mind when you say fearless debate is something political. So I would think two political figures are debating on a certain topic, and that's gonna tell whether it's gonna change a law or something. That's what I get. Is that gonna change a law?
The second thing. Yeah, so normally I don't go for the second thing. But if I was to think of the second thing, the first thing I would think is.
He said the second thing.
I know, I'm pushing the first thing out of the way.
But you was about to explain the first thing.
Okay, so the first thing would be the cause.
You still saying first thing.
Okay, so the second thing would be effect. What happened afterwards? After the debate.
Well, I didn't say it was a debate. I'm asking, just me mentioning fearless debates.
What's the second thing that
comes to mind? Second thing comes to mind.
Fearless.
Just mentioning fearless debates. I'm just wondering, if somebody just mentioned fearless debates, what would you think of, if anything at all? And if you wouldn't think of anything,
I draw a blank there.
I got you.
There's nothing.
Okay, understandable.
Yeah,
I understand.
You don't have to agree so fast.
Shots fired.
Right.
Yeah. Well, Fearless Debates is a conservative debate organization that seeks to engage students and communities in discussions on political and social topics, like you said, Slash. Their approach often involves setting up debate meet tables and challenging students to engage in conversations typically from a conservative perspective. This group organization visited Tennessee State University, also known as TSU, the other TSU.
The other one.
Because y'all know the original TSU is
right
here in Houston, Texas Southern University.
The best one.
Which both of them are historically black colleges. But Tennessee State University, of course, is in Nashville, Tennessee. And during the visit, it's members of the group arrived without prior approval from the university's administration, and they set up tables and intended to invite debate on topics including university practices and diversity-related issues. Now, as you can imagine, seeing a group of white guys set up a table on a HBCU campus, it's going to draw some type of reaction and get some attention. And actually, it was faculty and students that expressed concerns about safety and the appropriateness of these guys coming out as they did. A lot of them also viewed the event as being disruptive and uninviting. They eventually got removed. However, this didn't happen until let me back up. They did cause an uproar, from students, which started to build eventually as, the longer they stood out there, and they were aggressively taunted and were surrounded, and the students started to yell at them. Now, the Fearless Debate members stated that all they wanted to do was honor Charlie Kirk's memory by having debates on college campuses. However, the problem, in my opinion, they went wrong by wearing these "Make America Great Again" hats, which would definitely draw negative attention at a HBCU. And they also posted signs, one saying DEI should be illegal and deport all illegals now. Let's talk. Now, I saw the video, or one of the videos that's going around, and in the video, I can see one of the students, and this is one of the students that arrived early to where these guys were set up at, and he actually started to entertain them. You know, I can't remember exactly what their discussion was on, so I'm not gonna sit and guess. But again, this young man was entertaining the conversation. But later on in the video, as you see the crowd gathering, one young lady walks up, or one student walks up who happens to be a female, and asks if she could take a picture with the sign. So the gentleman, part of Fearless Debate, is allowing her to take the picture, and then she snatches the sign and runs off. So the other member, because there was only two of them out there if I'm not mistaken, the other member of Fearless Debate just pulled out another postcard and pretty much said basically something in the words of, "We have more." And you know, that really didn't do anything. Then I saw another student go by and grab another sign, and from that point on is when the uproar started. You know, that kind of encouraged the other students to start, like I say, yelling at these gentlemen, and it just went pretty much ham from there. Has anyone of you guys seen the video or anything about this story?
I haven't seen it, man, and I want to see, because you know what I think is, man, this racism thing, you know, and it only gets bad when this MAGA stuff come up. Yes. Every time MAGA hits something, there's some kind of racial thing going on, and I know the rest of America see this. And I know the rest of the White House see this stuff. Why is nobody?
You mentioned the White House, but in my opinion, all this is
MAGA.
Further Trump residue.
Yeah,
you know, again, they mentioned honoring Charlie Kirk, and we spoke on what he was about,
and we know what he was about.
Right. You know, so again, these were just, in my opinion, Charlie Kirk mini-me's.
So this brings me to this. It kind of makes me think that Charlie, what's his last name? Kirk was some sort of a political stunt or political, to give them reasons to do stuff like what they do now. You think
his unaliving was a political stunt?
Yeah, somewhat governmental political stunt, sort of. Cause now look what they doing with it.
I'm not gonna let you. I'm not gonna even allow you to share that thought by yourself. I actually thought this way, just like we thought, and we expressed our opinion in regards to 47 being shot. You know, that was I just felt like that was politically set up, and it was basically conspiracy.
Conspiracy, yeah.
And same with Charlie Kirk. I feel like this man may have what's the correct word? Given his life for this political party. Mm-hmm. Family is gonna be set up for the rest of their life type of bullshit. This is how I was thinking, so I couldn't let you just take that thought by yourself. And you were gonna say something?
No,
okay.
I'm just listening. See, this is only gonna help them push further. You know, like with the sign. The other one had a sign that said, "Get rid of all illegals now."
Yeah, like it said, DEI should be illegal and deport all illegals
now.
You come in and poking button, not poking button, poking the bear. I think, like what Freddie G would say. Mm-hmm. But they claim that they argue that their goals are to promote free speech, which we spoke on recently, and active debate among students. Though the method of engagement stirred controversy, which I don't have a problem with them coming on a college campus.
Right.
And I don't think Charlie Kirk went on HBCU campuses, you know what I'm saying? I think he went on predominantly white college campuses and debated how colleges were a scam in his opinion. Mm-hmm. These guys are going on a HBCU, which is predominantly a predominantly black.
Right.
Because nowadays, it's getting more diverse.
Right.
Which is a good thing. But they knew exactly what they were going to do and what their intentions were by even getting on this campus. Now, how they got on and was able to set up successfully, I don't know.
I may have missed this, but what were they race and how many were they?
of the Fearless Debate members. It was 2 Caucasian guys.
Okay.
And they were college student age. I would give them mid-20s.
Mid-20s.
No more than mid-20s.
All right.
The college police had to escort the group off the university. Now, TSU's administration said that its students acted professionally and respectfully during the encounter. As we discussed, or as I discussed earlier, there are social media videos surfacing and going around pretty much which showed, how the shouting and the yelling occurred, and even students taking pictures while these gentlemen were being escorted from the college campus. Now, the Nashville chapter of the NAACP called the incident an intentional effort to antagonize, which I totally agree.
It seems like some antagonizing.
Again, come on, man. Why would you pick this campus of all campuses
to go and do this?
And in Tennessee, why not go to Tennessee University, which is a predominantly white?
And see, the thing is, you got Hispanics at these colleges too,
right?
Because anywhere now that African Americans live, Hispanics it's all diverse now, So still, you offending people that goes to this school that are, Spanish, Hispanic, or descendants, or whatever. Their parents or somebody's from there. So it's kind of like, man, why would you go and do this? They just keeping up a bunch of mess with this racial stuff, man. They ain't never gonna get off of it, I don't think.
Go ahead, Freddie. I'm sorry.
So check it out. So I believe 100%, they knew they went there to antagonize.
Exactly.
Because they, like you said, K-Money, they went to a black college.
Right.
And these are 2 white guys going to a black college to set up a debate against black students. Now, we all know that this is to cause some kind of racial divide and cause racial tension, right?
Right.
But in all fairness to those 2 white guys, they know exactly what to do when causing these debates. Just as Charlie Kirk. Let me give you an example. Let me explain what I'm talking about here. They go right up to the line, but don't cross it.
Yep.
DEI, when they talk about DEI, black folks are programmed, in my opinion, to think that it's all about blacks and them.
Right.
And it's not.
And that's not the case.
Right.
But you can understand why.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
I do. That's why I said program.
Okay.
They're programmed to think that it's all about them.
Right.
When it's really not. But we all at this table know that the black folks will suffer more because you'll go and targeted them more, and they'll be the ones to suffer more. We know that, but to keep themselves in the safe zone, they just walk up to the line. Now, when they made the comment about deporting all illegals, on the surface that sounds bad, but the truth of the matter is, if you're here illegal, you've broken the law, and you must be deported.
Right.
But
We watch how the method and what they're doing and how they're doing.
What did that sign state that they had about the deport
all illegals?
all illegals? Okay, so that's not bad because it didn't say all immigrants.
Yeah, illegals.
Yeah.
But the thing is we're programmed, and I'm only speaking of black folks right now. We're programmed to think, okay, well, you're targeting them. Now, we know the truth.
Right.
The truth is, man, y'all some racist motherfuckers,
Right.
and y'all goddamn coming to start shit, but y'all get to hide behind the fact that you really didn't do nothing wrong legally.
The way they wordplay.
But they're just, and so and that's the same thing that this administration is doing, right? So, but they also know that let's go to this black school, and if we go to this black school, that's going to get these people up in the uproar, and if they get to attacking us or doing things to us, they're going to be the ones to get in trouble.
Right.
We're not. We're not breaking any laws.
Right.
No, they're not breaking any laws, and I can't even consider it to be trespassing. However, setting up on campus, I don't think was authorized. So, again, it's not a crime. The only thing that I can think that could have been done is what was done, which was to escort them away from the campus. Yeah. I think their mission was accomplished just by the amount of time that they stood on the campus. Mm-hmm. And was allowed to speak for however long that they were able to speak. I still think for them to cause the what they considered to be an uproar, mm-hmm. for them to cause that, I think in their eyes, their mission was accomplished.
Yeah, their mission was yes, their mission was accomplished. I'll do you one better. You know why their mission was accomplished? The 52 Scott Podcast is talking about it. Yeah. And now the listeners of the 52 Scott Podcast are going to go do some Googling now if they've never heard about it. Mm-hmm. And now they're getting more exposure. So yes, the mission was accomplished. But the mission was only accomplished because of the reaction of the black students. Whoa. Had they not gotten a reaction, let's say every black student just walked past me and never stopped to engage in encountering none of that, yeah. You wouldn't even heard about that. Right. So their mission
you would have heard about it, but it wouldn't have been this type of info.
Listen, if you would have heard about it, okay, I give you that. If you and I'm not debating against you, I give you that. If you would have heard about it, it wouldn't have had the title "Fearless," blah 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 blah. I don't think it would have had that title.
Well, just to be clear, Fearless Debates is the name of this organization.
Okay.
That's the name of it, yeah.
Okay.
The organization's name is Fearless Debate.
What does the article say?
But that's my point. I think if students would have treated it the way you suggested, Freddie G, by just walking past and not entertaining them whatsoever, we would have heard about it because social media, and we know cameras are fucking well, but it would have been something on the lines of how HBCU students ignored such and such, and didn't let it phase them, something on those lines.
So, but what does this actual article say?
This article just said how it just pretty much spoke on how it said that they caused the uproar. I can't remember what the headline, but it mentioned the uproar.
Okay, now check this out. They caused the uproar, right? It got the headline, it got uproar because of the reaction of the black students. Right. What I'm saying is, if the black students wouldn't have reacted, it wouldn't have been an uproar.
Right, it would have been something different. I totally agree with you.
Yeah, and think about it. If you see Fearless Debate happens on campus, right? How many people you think would click on that versus Fearless Debate causes an uproar on campus?
Well, Fearless, and that's pretty much why I started my show off the way I did, saying Fearless Debate. One, I had never heard of these gentlemen or the organization. So I didn't think you guys had either, unless you saw the stories just like I did.
Upon doing my investigations, I want to know. This is what I want to know. I meant to ask you this earlier. It's an organization, but it's only two guys that came. We're speaking, right?
Yeah, I don't know how many members are consistent.
Right. So now, what it makes me think is, were they? Since they did go to the all-black college, did those only two members speak, but they brought others just in case something went down? Then now it makes me think, if the two, I would call it fearless, if the only two people showed up.
I believe it was only those two gentlemen. Well, and ironically, they did have a black guy that was security for them.
But then you're not fearless no more. You got security. So that means.
But it was just one guy. He was getting the business too from the students, believe it or not. Yeah. Now, their objective actually was to go around on a tour to HBCUs. So I don't think Tennessee State was going to be there first. Right. So whether or not they plan on, after this type of reaction, whether or not they plan on continuing this tour, I don't know.
Because they kind of set themselves up. Think about it.
But again, they knew what their intentions were.
Yeah, if you come with security, you're already saying something might happen. But to make it fearless, just those two white guys show up with a table, a booth, no security, just them two. That makes it fearless. Then now you're at the point, because the one security didn't help anyway. So
question.
So you know what I mean. So you might as well have just showed up by yourself.
Why is it fearless? Because they're showing on a HBCU campus.
It's fearless because it could go one of two ways, right? If it's just two white guys, that means, just say it goes to court. It was just those two white guys debating. They didn't bring no security and no backup because they were hoping to only debate and not have a physical altercation. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
To whereas you bring security, you already said something might happen.
You're expecting a physical
Yeah, you're
altercation.
expecting something to go down.
Gotcha.
So that's why I say I can't call it fearless to they can call it fearless all they want to, but you show it by yourself. If you don't want nothing to go down, you just want to hear mouth and people talking back, it's a debate, and that's what it is. You shouldn't have security with you.
I agree. Freddie G, I want to ask you a question. I mentioned earlier how the administration of the president stated that the students acted in their eyes, pretty much in a justifiable manner. How do you feel about that? I know you didn't see I don't think you saw the video, but
when you said the administration, are you saying the college administration?
College administration, Tennessee University,
saying that they acted
the students,
in a justified manner?
Yeah, basically with just the way they handled the matter. It didn't become physical, but just the yelling and the taunting that they did was justified. Do you feel that was, do you think they acted appropriately given the situation, in your opinion?
So, I would say for their age, yes. Because if you guys are fearless debaters, debates turn into yelling, screaming. It turns into that, especially when you're trying to make your point and you feel strong about your point and views. So if they did a lot of taunting and screaming, that's all of a part of the debate.
So they pretty much got what they asked for.
Yeah, so that's that. Yeah, I would say yeah. Now for their age, so again for their age, I side with the administration. Now, if it was all our age and these young white boys, young college white boys who could be our sons, they want to actually have a debate with some 50-plus-year-old men and women.
They come to the third ward and set up their table.
I don't think we should be giving them the time of day like that. Once you peep what it is that they're trying to antagonize, I don't think we should do that. Because if there's any young kids around that's their age, those YNs, they're going to be the ones to go handle that. We ain't got to say nothing to nothing.
Right.
Why y'all coming to mess with the old heads, or why y'all coming to do? They're gonna see it. So for their age group, yeah, it was appropriate.
I agree with you. TSU's president Dwayne Tucker said an investigation is underway and on how they gained access to the campus, and he plans to host meetings with students in days to come to discuss basically what happened, which I think is a good idea. Now, Cam Higby, which is one of the guys that's part of Fearless Debate, said, if you want to talk to people who disagree with you, you go to a place where people disagree with you. What do you guys think about that?
If you want people to agree
if you want to talk to people who disagree with you, you go to where these people are.
Yeah, I think that's what you should do.
But he could have found, they went, again, Freddie G mentioned how when certain things are mentioned like DEI, I think it's a one-way street on how people are looking at it. And these guys may have thought the same thing in regards to how you thought about that, and knowing most black folks react a certain way when they just hear those three little letters. Yeah. And knowing also that, possibly that TSU had Hispanic students as well, which is why they mentioned, deporting all illegals, even though that could be a broad spectrum on just not Hispanics, but Africans and so forth.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry. Go back and who said if you want to go, if you're looking for,
if you want to talk to people that disagree?
Yeah.
Cam Higby was one of the two gentlemen from Fearless Debaters that made this comment as they were being escorted from the campus.
So check this out. How do you know whether or not somebody disagrees with you? You don't know. You just assume until they open their mouth.
Right.
So, how did you?
Well, they had those signs, which I'm sure they presumed was going to draw the attention. You know, they had the sign saying, you know, deport all illegals now, and DEI, whatever the DEI sign said, I can't remember. And then let's talk.
Okay.
Yeah, see, he knew he was gonna go. He knew the people where he was gonna disagree with him because of those, like you say, the 3 different letters.
They knew. You mentioned it earlier, Freddie G, that wordplay. They knew how and what to say to pull these young students to get, you know, some type of reaction from them.
Right.
You know, and it was going to build as it did. I just don't think it got to the point that because I think, you know, just as Slash and myself mentioned earlier, how Charlie Kirk may have sacrificed himself for the mega party. These gentlemen may have had the same thing in mind in regards to it getting physical, not to the point to where Charlie Kirk sacrificed his entire life, but they may have thought it was going to get physical. They were going to be physically harmed, which, just like Comedian 96 stated, they brought security for those reasons.
Right.
I again have no problems with these guys coming to a college campus. It's just the college campus that they chose to go to. Now, they did post on their website to the leftists asking, why would you go to an HBCU to have a debate? Our answer is simply, why wouldn't we go to an HBCU? Do leftists not believe that black people have the same rights as everyone else to participate in a dialogue about America's future?
You see, that's a play. See, that's why I say, remember I said earlier, no, just enough to go walk up to that line.
Yeah.
And see, now how do you come back from that when you're wording it that way?
Yeah.
Right.
That's why you gotta fucking be on your toes. You gotta be sharp enough to recognize that shit.
That would have been a hell of a reaction, though, had these students just ignored this.
Yeah.
And that would have been a pat on the back. I mean, I commend them for the way they handled it because it didn't go get to a physical nature. In the video, you do see when one of the signs was snatched, one of the white guys actually walks towards the student that ran off, and then you see another young man boot up to him, and, you know, he do do something type of shit to him, and he backed the fuck up.
Yeah.
But I applaud the man. In closing, bruh, clearly this is slowly becoming a country that's going to be the have and have-nots if we stay on this path, in my opinion. If this was the other way around, let's say if the Black Panther Party visited a prestigious white college or one of those Ivy League colleges, Harvard or Princeton, one, I don't think that they would have been allowed to set anything up due to racial profiling, and two, I think the fear on just the fact that this black organization who appears to them to be aggressive, but just happens to be united and unified to intimidate them. So let's be honest, we know white folks are scared of most blacks, period. Peace out. This concludes another True Tuesday episode, and be sure you tune in tomorrow for another episode of Women Wednesday with Freddie G. Don't forget to follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast, Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast, and if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and or subscribe. And to all my 52 Scott faithfuls, it may be new to you, but if you heard it here, then you know it's true.